Welcome back to The Charismatic Voice. When I read the title of this song, I thought that it was going to be applicable to the holidays and how people spend so much money at this time of year. It turns out that that's not what this is really about. And after just reading the lyrics one time through, it packed a little bit more of a personal punch than I expected. So let's get to it. So I think that was just a little doodle, probably as a little bit of an interlude between two songs in this live performance. I'm really excited to see this live. It looks like it's going to be an incredible audience. It reminded me immediately, though, of one of the things that my first listening of Dire Straits really provided. I was so struck by the conversational play between the guitar and the voice. And this one was essentially between two guitars. Super cool. I'm hoping to see a lot more of that. That is one of the things that I loved the most about hearing Sultans of Swing. But the moment that they started in here, the audience was like, yeah, that's my favorite song. So who knows? Maybe this will be my new favorite. That sounds like it's the recognizable beginning. I think this is so fascinating, the way he sings with so much nonchalance, right? It's lazy, but it's not like grunge lazy, although there are some things that I hear in common with that for sure. He's very close to the microphone as well, which tells you he isn't belting this out. It's very, I would say, very unpressurized when it comes to the breath pressure that's needed to support this kind of sound. And he's not hawking up a bunch of air to belt a note out here. And the enunciation really is a little sloppy on purpose. On purpose, that's his entire style. It fascinates me. I'm going to go back a little bit. I really loved the groove once it started. Right. Yeah. I feel like I could dance. I have so much fascination with the lyrics. We're going to talk about those shortly. But first, I want to point out this, essentially it's a shoulder bob thing that he's doing, a shoulder bob, and talk about how that affects or it doesn't affect singing. I see one of the most common errors, especially in really young singers, when they wind up and get a huge breath. A lot of times they think like, oh, I can use my shoulders to help. And really, that really doesn't help. Your shoulders, like your scapulae, they're not attached to your ribs. It is a cohesive body, and when you move one thing, other things are likely to move as well. But shoulders really don't have much effect at all on your breathing. And I think that the way that he's singing, he's been keeping time with his shoulders. You don't hear that entering into his voice at all. And that's because it really shouldn't play that much effect. I have seen some deathcore singers, though, breathe really big and then slam down almost like they were locking up the core of their body. I think that has to do with the additional air pressure that's probably necessary for some of these really extreme sounds. We'll find out a lot more, hopefully, in research soon. But I'm really curious if maybe that slamming down motion affects the intercostal muscles. I'd like to know a lot more about that, because that sort of motion in classical singing would be very, very frowned upon. I love it when people break rules. Even the way he's bobbing there, it looks like it's already, oh, that's just from a knee bob. That's such a great view of his mouth and larynx. Well, I should say vocal tract, really. We can't see the larynx entirely here. We just see the throat. It's a fantastic side view. I don't see a lot of tension happening there. And you can really tell how close he is to the mic here. He's almost kissing it, right? That's sometimes people refer to this as eating the microphone, getting super, super close to it. That can give it a more casual, like, hey, I'm just a friend talking in your ear kind of feel. Or if you want to go like more intimate, you can attempt that as if you were whispering in a lover's ear as well. One big thing to mention here, though, is that a lot of singers, the first time they're on a microphone, are scared of it. And I think if you're one of those people, look at how he's just like so casual with the mic, and try to embody that. It'll make your microphone work in general better. Unless you're an opera singer, in that case, you need to like stand feet away, okay? Get away from that microphone. You're gonna destroy it with consonants. That's some nice harmony. So I heard that Sting does some of the backing vocals in this. It might not be in this version. I was reading about different versions. Oh, by the way, it was really hard to decide whether or not to do the live version or the video version. And that's because, let me do a double check here. This was released. Let's see. Shoot, when was it released? It was in the 80s sometime. I'm looking at my sheet. There's so much information on my prep sheet, guys. Okay, 1985. And I'd read that this had some of the first CGI in the music video. That's so impressive and amazing. And I thought that would be really cool to watch. I really want to see him doing live, because I love seeing all of the vocal technique that's used in a live performance in particular. But after talking with some team about it, I guess the CGI, which hopefully we'll put up a couple of graphics here, the CGI was from the 80s. It was really early. So we thought, okay, people are probably going to perceive this as not super cool today because we just have different expectations now from CGI than we used to. But shout out to Dire Straits for being so forward thinking with technology. That's amazing. And if Sting is in here, hopefully we'll spot him. Maybe he was already there. I've seen only pictures of current Sting, and actually was not too far from him at a conference one time. So I know what he looks like in person today, but I have no idea what he looks like earlier in life. Like, no freaking clue. So it's possible that I've already seen him and didn't know it.
The little mama got his own jet plane. The little
So I don't think that's Sting, but it might be. You guys, I have on my short list is to listen to The Police for the first time sometime soon. I think I have heard one of their songs on a soundtrack. This is how I know some music every now and then. Usually it's from soundtracks or yoga. But I feel like a dummy right now, not gonna lie, because I had in my notes, hey, something about Sting and backing vocals, and now I'm like, wait a second, but what did he look like during this performance? Because so if you guys roast me on the internet, I accept it. I don't have the knowledge of this one right now. Hopefully I will soon. Let's go back and talk about some of the fantastic weavings in and out, the way that he's picking up melody and then letting it go into speech. It is really, really fascinating to me. And he's very careful about making the speech singy, so it doesn't have such an abrupt shift. You have to continue energy in speech when it's right next to singing. Otherwise, you drop your audience. We'll talk about how he's doing that.
We got to move these color oh, see a little queen, got the earring, got the makeup on. I tell you what, that's his own head.
There we go. So that first part of the phrase was totally sung, and then the second part had this, it went into speech. When I say speech, what I'm saying is really that it stopped having a sustained pitch. And so we had more like swoops of pitch that were happening. It did have a sustained volume that was similar to the singing, which is how he keeps the energy going. If you are trying to copy this style, one of the big things I would caution against is singing like you normally sing and speaking like you normally speak. That's not going to work. Those things aren't going to go together. In opera and musical theater, actors have to struggle to match their speech to their singing as much as possible. It's even more of a struggle in opera because it's even further from speech. But in musical theater, we want to have a really beautiful, smooth transition between the two. So the speech is actually heightened. It has more energy coming through it. The volume in particular is going to be a little bit louder. There's often more elongated words as well, so that that energy can continue to pull forth. Singing tends to make things a little bit slower overall. Check out that phrase again. I'll go back a little bit further so you can compare.
Oh, see a little queen, got the earring, got the makeup on. I tell you what, that's his own head. The little mama got his own cherry plane. The little trucker is a millionaire.
And I think that he's really targeting the same area of resonance as well. So it's sing speech. It's not really truly speech, right? It's heightened. It's almost like when you hear Martin Luther King Jr. give a speech, right? It's not just him talking. It is way more than that. It is halfway between speech and singing, and that's incredible and passionate. I think that a lot more could be done in contemporary music with this kind of sound. And I actually think that we already have it in a very specific genre of music, which I'm trying to get a little bit more informed on. Rap. I think sometimes it goes super, super fast, yes. But if we were to take rap and make it a lot longer, like ballady, we have that heightened sense of speech that's leaning into all kinds of rhymes and rhythms as well. And I think that we could use this in all kinds of areas in contemporary music a lot more. Let's keep going.
We got to install a microwave, custom kitchen delivery.
She's having fun. Oh. I really like his guitar playing. So a lot of times I'm listening as a vocal nerd, right? Definitely not a guitar expert by any means, okay? I know a lot about music and theory as well, and a lot about piano, but voice, that is where I really get nerdy and read research for fun. So when I really like guitar and when I like how somebody plays a guitar, it's not often going to be as informed. It's just like, I really like this thing about it, or I feel kind of about it. I really like his guitar playing. There's moments that remind me of Stevie Ray Vaughan, whose guitar playing I'm like head over heels about, just can't get enough of. I think that it has moments that make me squeal with glee inside. There's like a little moment in there. It's often feels like his guitar is talking, and he's using a style that makes it more conversational than most guitar playing I've ever heard. I also think that it has nice soaring bits of phrases, but then it has surprises and turns certain corners that are just like, whoa, that was exciting. So I'm going to go back to the guitar solo. Oh, further. Ha! That's like a double and that's a real I gotta say, I want to know, when you hear that moment, what do you think about? For me, I'm like on the Nutella mindset right now. I'm like, that's the kind of sound that I make when I eat Nutella. So good. But it could be all kinds of things that you think about. What do you think about with Ooh. I actually might have Dr. Pepper at this moment, which definitely sounds like a la 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 la. Aw, and flowers. If you guys didn't know, thank you. I have the best husband on the planet, and I mentioned to him earlier that I really wanted a Dr. Pepper. I know. I don't drink much soda. Okay, put that out there. I don't drink much, but when I do, it's Dr. Pepper. That's like a family thing. I grew up on it and pepperoni pizza. And these smell incredible. Lilies and flowers. And you guys, oh, you know what? Do you go, when you smell roses? Is that what makes you go, This is a perfect moment to have flowers, because now I'm thinking about the, Maybe this, but anyhow, I'm going to go back one more time. Let's find out. I want to know what makes you go, like this. And then maybe we'll do a poll in the live chat and see what makes more people go, Keep it clean, y'all. And that's that moment of surprise I was talking about. Like, we've been hanging out really high, and then he does this one single excursion down low there. It's like, it almost sounds like a mistake, but then he weaves it in like, I was just winking.
I should have learned to play on that guitar. I should have learned down in the drums. Don't you look at that, mama got it sticking in the camera. Yes, I'd like to give her some. What's that? Oh, one of those is when you're banging on the bongos like a chimpanzee. That ain't working.
This is where we're gonna dig into the lyrics. I really felt these lyrics, particularly because I did opera for my first career, right? This is, opera is considered elaborate, extravagant. People think that opera singers make so much money. I think people think that opera singers make more money than rock stars do a lot of times, and it's just not the case. Singing at LA Opera for a couple years, my paycheck per week was less than the COVID paycheck. It was rough getting by. We have lots of side gigs that we have to take when we're singing opera to try and just make ends meet. It is really, really tough. And if you ever think that an opera singer must be loaded, you're wrong. Even the singers that are making the most money, that top 0.1%, yeah, maybe they can buy a house, but they are not loaded. They are not out there buying Ferraris. Okay. And this was his point. I think he'd overheard somebody talking about extravagant life of rock stars. And while I think that is true in some very, very rare cases, it's just not true for most artists. And it's not because they can just bang on a set of drums or that they learned guitar as a kid. It's because they put so much energy and dedication and tears and sweat and often blood too into learning their craft. It is high performance pressure. I think that the mental pressure and also just the physical ask from a lot of singers is equivalent to that of a lot of professional football players. You've only got a certain window that you can often perform at that high intensity at. So it just crushes me when I hear people talk about how, oh yeah, like singing isn't anything. Like you don't have to learn anything. You can just go do it. Like you've either got it or you don't. That's just not true. It's a really, really tough life and a tough decision for a lot of people to make. So, as I said, this song packed a punch for me much more than I expected. And I think when we see him perform it, there's so much seriousness with this narration. He was bothered by this. And even though the song feels a little peppy at times, it's underlying it all. There's a certain bitterness to these lyrics, and boy, they resonate with me.
Yes, I'd like to give her some. What's that? Oh, one of the noises when you're banging on the bongos like a chimpanzee. That ain't working. No, that's the way you do it. Get your money for nothing and your chicks for free. We got to install
Money for nothing and chicks for free. Okay, let me also tell you that maintaining relationships while having a career as a performing musician is hard. It is so, so hard. That was one of the main reasons I did not want to go back out on the road, because I felt like my personal relationships in life suffered. I had several reasons, but that was one of them. The other one was I wanted to expand my niche to a much greater audience and ended up on YouTube for this, which I love my life now, I have to say. Great, great, great decision. But life on the road is extremely hard on relationships, and making a decision to be an artist that is going to go perform all the time and leave your family behind. I've spoken with parents that were leaving like little tiny kids, and they're missing their birthdays and they're missing their first baseball and soccer games. And it's just so heartbreaking. But that's a love of the craft and a dedication to it that most people just never could really get there. It's such a huge ask, and I think it's so impressive that that performing musicians do it. I have so much respect.
hanging on the bongos like a chimpanzee. That ain't working. No, that's the way you do it. Get your money for nothing and your chicks for free. We got to install a microwave, custom kitchen delivery. We got to move these refrigerators. We got to move these color TVs.
I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I think I'm going to have to pause and look at pictures here because I need to know if is that another member of Dire Straits or is that possibly Sting? I have to know. I'm going to pause the video. So I just took a look at a bunch of pictures of Sting when he was younger, and I don't think I've seen him here on stage. I know he provides backings. I thought he was going to be a guest here, but so far I'm seeing like lots of brown hair and long hair. He did apparently have longer, but it looked like it was blonde hair when he was young. So, you guys, I might be hopeless. I might be hopeless. Is he in the background on the drums or something? Like with the glasses on? Is that what's, I don't think so. I think that's a different band member here. Right? This should be Terry Williams. Oh man, this is bothering me so much. Okay. Help me out in chat. Here we go. Right, I didn't ever see a picture of Sting with beard. And his hair should be blonder, shouldn't it? I'm so stumped. Notice when he adds a little bit of distortion to that line, just a tiny bit of edge there, it's still at a quieter volume. He's still very, very close to the microphone. I see a lot of people thinking, oh, I have to be louder to put a little edge or distortion or growl on the vocal, and that's not the case. You can do it quietly. Oh, let's go back a little more so you can hear that again. That. He's got heels on. I just want to say the backing, there's like a counter melody that's happening in the I Want My MTV that our ladies are doing here. I like the way that's almost like a cry or a whine of I want my MTV. It's a nice blend of voices throughout. Ah, wait. Maybe that's Terry Williams that's on the drum kit, and that Sting is playing our other drums in the background. Because that did look a little bit more like him, but the glasses are throwing me off here too. So I'm gonna get roasted so much in this video. I accept it. I accept it. Tambourine. Ooh, nice extra hit. Those stabs there were really cool. I like the way that they felt unexpected, but they've been doing, I think, that note all along. They just accented it here to bring more attention to it. And maybe place it a little bit earlier. That just sounds to me like a whining toddler. Maybe that's because I'm a mom of a 2-year-old at this moment who's like, I want to play, which is so cute when he says it. Really, truly cute. So I can't really complain about the whining at all. But yeah, it's starting to sound like a whining toddler, which is good. I think that's what the intention is here. That's a cool lick. That song made me go, many times. And I thank you so much for this recommendation that was scrumptious. Again, don't forget to let me know what makes you go, keep it clean. And if you want to hear some more analyses of music that makes me go, check out this playlist over here. May you fall more in love with music every day.